Are you ready to move in with someone? Then let's get into it. Okay, so let's just get into it, right? So if you're thinking about like moving in with someone, is there like a time frame, or should there be like a time frame? Like, okay, you can't move in before 3 months, you can't move in before 6 months, you can't move in before a year because you really don't know these people, honey. But let me say this, I don't think there's a timeline. I think that people should do what makes sense for them. And if, you meet somebody, look, hold on, let me stop right here. I don't mean that you should move in with someone like, 2 weeks after you meet them. You can hang out with them, but not like permanently move in. And I know that sometimes we have this thing where we gradually move our stuff in, right? And then before you know it, half of our stuff are at their place, half of our stuff are at our place, and then we just think, okay, let's just go ahead and do it. But this is my thing. When you're moving in with someone, it's a big move, right? It's one thing to go hang out with them for a little bit, a day or two or whatever, a week, whatever you want to do. But actually uprooting your life and moving in with someone is a big deal, or to me it should be, right? Because what that means is like, you feel very comfortable with them, like seeing all your personal information, honey, because what happens when you ain't at home, people be like snooping into your stuff, maybe, right? Sometimes for sure. They're like, look, let me see what's in this drawer and let me see, what's over here, right? So when you start thinking about moving in with someone, it really is a huge matter of trust, right? Can I trust this person enough to want to live with them and leave them in my house when I'm not there, and vice versa, right? That's what we're talking about here. So I always tell people when this question comes up, because I don't know if there's like a real timeline that you have to wait, right? Because to me, that's more, about the two people and, you deciding how it is you feel about each other and the way you trust each other. You want to be able to live together, right? On a regular basis, on a day-to-day basis. But my thing is this, is that, I always say to people, if you're going to live together, and let me just say this, y'all know how I am. I'm cool with people living together before they get married, or even if they ain't trying to get married, honey, do you, right? It's okay to live with someone. And I'm all about testing the waters. Let's see if this is going to work before I make a bigger commitment to say yes to you forever. Forever is a long time, you know that? And so I need to be able to test the water. So I would encourage you guys to, if you're comfortable with doing that, do that, right? Test the waters. But this is my thing. If you're going to test the waters, give it enough time. Like go through like all the seasons. And the reason why I say that is because, for some people in the wintertime, they get a little depressed because they can't get out of the house, especially depending on where you live, right? In Texas, we don't have that problem as much. But when I was in Colorado, that was a big deal because there are times when you can't go nowhere because it's too dang cold, right? Or there's a lot of snow some places, or there's storms happening. And so you're kind of stuck in the house for a little bit, It kind of reminds me of when we were going through COVID. We all got stuck in the house. We didn't know what to do. We didn't know how to talk to each other. We didn't want to talk to each other sometimes. And so it's a little bit like that. So going through the seasons helps you to understand and see, how does this person handle, this type of, situation, this type of ordeal or stress even, right? Is it stressful for them when they can't get out and do all the things that they want to do? And honey, then the spring comes around. What happens in the spring? Everybody gets a little antsy and we all just want to get out and get some fresh air, smell the roses, as they say. And then we start looking around at different people, and next thing you know, our eyes are being caught somewhere else sometimes. I said sometimes, not all the time. But so you want to see what happens in the spring, right? And then there's summer. Some of us, we just want to have a hot girl, guy, whatever, whomever summer, right? And that brings up other issues, let me tell you. and then we get back to the fall, and fall is beautiful most of the time, no matter where you live, and we want to be out doing stuff, right? And while we're out doing stuff, we may realize this person don't do like the same kind of stuff that I like to do, or they're not interested in the same things that I'm interested in. So that's another thing. It's like, once you go through the seasons, right? And you say, ooh, I'm an outdoors person. I say I'm an outdoors person too, but I ain't climbing nobody's mountain, honey. And I'm not really hiking too many places or too far, let me tell you. So outdoors means different things to different people, right? So that's and that's why I recommend you go through the seasons, because as you go through the seasons, you get to see how this other person is. Are they really a person who likes to go out and have fun? Are they really a person who just likes to sit on the couch and watch people having fun? So this is the stuff that, to me, helps you to decide, do I want to continue in this relationship with this person? Is this a deal breaker? Is this something we could just talk about, and work through? So my advice to you, no matter how long or when, or should I say how long you've been together, and when you decide to move in together, that whatever you do, give it time, give it time to really get to see somebody through the seasons, right? Let me recap really quickly, because we all, get to a point where, or at least we hope to get to a point where, we care about somebody and we love somebody enough to want to be with them on a daily basis. And that means a lot of things to a lot of people. So for me, I can tell you that I'm working through that. I'm working on that. And the fact that, can I live with somebody every single day? And I'm, like I said, I'm working on it. I'm at a good place. I'd say I'm at like about a 70-30, 80-20, I don't know. But I'm getting there, right? To say, okay, can I do this? But I think that's what you want to think about. You want to think about, who am I? And am I the kind of person who can be with someone every single day, all the time, right? And then the other thing that I want to talk about that I didn't mention before is people's habits, right? Some people are cleaner than other people. Some people are messy. Some people, don't like to put their clothes in the hamper. Some people don't do dishes. There's all these things that that to me helps you when you live with someone, over at least a year throughout the seasons, right? Because then you get to see who they really are. Because we always are our best when we first meet somebody, or when we're in that honeymoon stage, as they like to say, right? But then, honey, we keep forgetting. At least that's what we tell ourselves, and we tell the other people. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to put the toilet seat down. I did. I'm sorry. I forgot that you like the dishes done this way, which really is not that important sometimes. But there's just things that you want to make sure that these are the things that you can live with on a daily basis. And these are the things that you can just let go of, right? So my thing is this, is that it doesn't really matter when you decide to move in with someone. What matters is that if you're going to do it, give it a shot, right? A real shot. Give it time. Don't give up so easily. And this is the thing, that whole thing about let's not go to bed mad. I don't know if that's always a real thing or if it's a true thing, but what I do know is that no matter what happens, communicate and try to stay together. Don't send somebody off to sleep on the couch just because, right? I don't think that's a good idea, but I do think it's a good idea that even if you're upset with someone and things are not going well, you're in the same house now. You're not going anywhere. And even if you have your own place somewhere, honey, don't go. Just let it go. Stay where you are. Work things out, even if that means you have to take a time out and say, I need a minute. I need a day or two, and then we can come back and talk about this. But don't separate yourselves just because you have a disagreement. And this is part of that giving it some time stuff, right? And going through the seasons, because you're going to have ups and downs no matter what happens, right? I don't care how much you like each other. At some point, you're gonna get on each other's nerves, more than likely. Somebody's gonna do something that upsets you. So it's okay. So let me just say this, that if you wanna live with someone, or you think you do, right? Test the waters, right? But my big thing is this: don't give up, and give it some time.